and today we're talking about using Mtext and Dtext in AutoCAD. Alright, so I'm going to switch over and create first a text layer really quickly because I'm not using a title block that already has one created for me. And I'm just going to put it in a blue so that it's a little bit easier to see. And I'm going to leave it continuous and default. I'll switch over to that layer. So I'm also going to really quickly create a construction line text or layer. Okay. So we've talked about the fact that Dtext is also what we call single line text. So if I type D and then T, Dtext is what comes up. Now it's going to ask me to start the first point of the text, or where I want it to start. But this is also the time where I could type J for justify or S for style if I want to be able to control one of those factors. So if I wanted to have it centered left or middle, centered left or right, or if I want to pick a different font or something like that. For now, I'm just going to pick a spot on the screen to start. It's going to ask me what height I want my letters. If my object is going to be shown at 1:1 scale, then I'm going to put in 0.125 as an eighth of an inch. So we'll just do that for now. And then I can tell it a rotation angle. So if I wanted it angled along a line or something like that, I could do it. Here I want horizontal text, so I'm just going to type 0. And now I can start typing my text. And you see that I can type it, and then if I hit enter, it will give me a second line. But if I were to hit enter again, it would just end the text. And you can see that the text looks pretty small on screen compared to the size of the object that I've got here. So I would want to take that into account when I was planning for what size it was going to look in the viewports. The other kind of text that you can do instead of the Dtext is Mtext, so MT. And when I do that, it's going to say specify the first corner like it did with the other one, and I'm just going to drag down from there kind of. And then it's going to say specify the opposite corner. So it's asking you to create a box approximately the size that you think it's going to be in. And you can adjust that box later. So just kind of eyeball it as to how big you really think it's going to be so far. Then as soon as you do that, it opens a ribbon up at the top. And that gives you your basic word processing options. So you can choose the styles that you want. Bold, italic, underlined, etc. Bullets, spacing, spell check, all that kind of stuff. There's a ruler available on the top there so you can see how big it's going to be. You can turn that on or off as you want to. And you can do find and replace if you need to, like you can do in a general word processor. And then when you're done with this one, instead of just hitting enter, you're going to tap close text editor up here. Okay, so now I've got my two text pieces. And I want to be able to move them. So what I can do is I can just click on it and use the grip here and move it. I don't even have to use the move command, although I can use the move command instead if I want to. And I'll be able to drag them down so that they're closer to my boxes, for example. The other thing that I can do is if I decide I want to edit one of them, I can slowly double-click on it, and it allows me to open that box back up and make editing to it. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to align your text within a box pretty easily. And what you're going to want to do is switch over to a construction line and just go down the distance that you want your text to start at. And I'm just going to pick kind of a random distance here, and I'm going to draw this construction line all the way across my boxes. So this will be helpful when you're putting the text in your title blocks. And then I'm going to draw another line over here, straight down. And that one I'll just offset. Well, I would have to know the specific distance, and I didn't, so do is I'll select my line, but then I'll just choose the corner as the place I copy it from so that I can copy it onto the corner for this one and this one. Now, when I do my text, I can do my dtext, and I can specify the starting point as that intersection corner, so I know exactly how far up in the block it's going to go. And then I can tell it my height that I want, the rotation, and type my text. So, for example, date. And it put it right in at that corner. So this is a good way of being able to put in a text at a specific area. You can also use your object snap tracking in order to try and control it, but the construction lines are nice because then they apply to all of them and I don't have to do the math in my head to figure out how far apart they all are, etc. So this is our basics on how to do text.